Alrighty, so this is lesson 8. Lesson 8 is over Lyndon B. Johnson and the Great Society, as well as the beginning of the Vietnam War and how that all broke down. So here are all the notes if you want to pause the video and take them yourself, but I'm going to go through these individually as well. So Lyndon B. Johnson becomes president. He is the vice president under JFK. JFK is assassinated November 22nd of 1963, and then LBJ becomes president. So he continues the Cold War policies, and he expands both domestic problems and foreign involvement as well. So more things start to get involved specifically with Vietnam, as well as what is known as the Great Society. So for those of you who are familiar with the New Deal, the Great Society is similar in a sense that it's an increase of government programs. However, it has a little bit of a different mission where, like, Social Security was focused on building a retirement fund for the American citizens. This is focused on Medicare, Medicaid, and education funding. So the big goal is to reduce poverty and expand healthcare while also improving education. So the government is taking a larger role in helping out Americans at this point. So at the same time, we're dealing with the Civil Rights Movement at home in 1964 and 65 is when we get the Civil Rights Act as well as the Voting Rights Act, but I'll save the Civil Rights Movement for a different video because there's a lot more to cover. So the Vietnam War is also escalating at the time, so it's kind of this weird hypocrisy that's going on where we're promoting that we're going to free all these people abroad, but we don't even let black people and white people drink from the same water fountain in all 50 states of the United States. So it's kind of an issue as a whole. So during this time, like we talked about before, we have the issues of containment. They're trying to contain communism as much as they can because of the domino theory. If one country falls, they're all going to start becoming communists, right? So there's more troops sent, and then the fighting gets intensified in Vietnam. And then as that happens, this is one of the first times in American history that the entire public becomes kind of irritated with being in war. We are not officially at war with Vietnam. It's called the Vietnam War. It is more accurately portrayed as the Vietnam conflict because there was no formal declaration of war, even though it lasted pretty much 20 years. So it's a pretty ridiculous thing. So public opinion shifts. Biggest reason why is because there's so many dead people and that the media is showing the realities of war. Also, in addition to that, the draft is instated. And when the draft is going on, you create a lot of people who don't even want to be there in the first place and are also feeling like they're obligated to go as well. So there's people who show via cameras how bad media really amplifies the nature of war so that people at home can really see it. We're not just fighting this invisible enemy that we hear about on the news and see via propaganda anymore. We're actually on the ground with cameras seeing what's really happening out there. So this actually ends up leading to the protest movement, or what people call the hippie movement. So the peace sign, people always talk about this, it is code for nuclear disarmament in the uranium code. So this is N, that's D, and then together they equal nuclear disarmament or peace. They're trying to disarm all of the nukes, stop the space race, or not the space race, the Red Scare, and stop the entire the missile crisis that's been going on over year and year and year. So anti-war protests spread across the U.S. College students became heavily involved, and then we get something known as the Kent State shootings that shocked the country. So this is a time before school shootings. I know, you can imagine, such a lovely time. This was the first time this happened, and it wasn't like a school shooter, like a psychopath with a gun. It was many psychopaths all hired by the government with guns. So this is all the National Guard and things like that coming to stop a protest movement happening on Kent State campus in Ohio. It goes very poorly. 4 people end up dying. So it's a very big deal as far as making people lose momentum and desiring to be involved in the war effort. The people who are against the hippie movement, they're known as the silent majority. And that's why they end up electing Nixon. Again, we'll get there a little bit later, but yeah, so there's a lot of controversy, a lot of back and forth, just like today in modern politics. There's always back and forth. And the biggest contradiction, like I mentioned before, is that we're fighting for the civil rights movement at home, but we're also going abroad and fighting in the Vietnam War, where both white and black men are dying, both American citizens dying daily because of how bad war really is in general. So we're still facing inequality at home, and this created a sense of tension and distrust with the government. these domestic issues are starting to now influence foreign policy, because now people have more of a say and more of opinion. Is becoming more public. The support of the war is changing, and around this time, with the JFK assassination being what it is, if you go look at the comment section on my JFK assassination video, you can see there's already dissenting opinions, and I really just presented the different narratives that people talk about. Obviously, I have a natural opinion myself, so I may come across as swayed, and I apologize for that. But I do want to just open up the dialogue with any of these topics. Like, what are your thoughts? If you find more depth and more primary sources to disprove one of the points I make, then please leave it. I would love to talk to you more. I'm going to ask you questions. I love people who love history and who love to study this stuff. I want to be able to discuss this stuff openly, and not make this a game of accusation or blame or anything like that either. I just want to help people, number one, be able to pass their CLEP exams, but number two, let's get down to the truth. And what I personally believe is that when you have a narrative with holes in it, those holes make the whole thing deflate. Whereas if you just start stacking a bunch of truths without a narrative around them, and you just say, here's all these truths that happened, the narrative starts to construct itself a little easier, because you can see all the pieces come together. So please like and subscribe, guys, and stay tuned for more. I will be teaching a full breakdown of the whole U.S. history to 1865 to the present CLEP exam. And then, yeah, good luck, guys. God bless.